over and out, Keith and Judy. As you can see down in this Oklahoma region here, we've got some high pressure systems meeting some low pressure systems. When we have that, you're going to see this spiraling of the weather, and that's where we get Tornado Alley ripping right through the Midwest here. However, up in the North Dakota regions, we've got about 80 or 90 degrees here in the summer, probably cooling off there by midweek later on as the day goes on out. We've got these huge storms over here in California, not your normal 70 and happy here, but what we got now is we've got storms. Now, if you look down into the south over in the Gulf, we've got Tropical Storm Ivan, okay? Ivan's going to be coming right up through the Gulf and getting those fisher boats, getting those people down here out of Louisiana. Savers, this is our basic green screen setup. Mr. Jolliffe and I are not really sure that this is going to work, but we have 2 lights that the school has purchased, and we're going to give this a run here. We placed them about 3 feet off to the side. Basically, you want to get lighting position that you have as even as lighting as possible. Our green screen here, we've taken the red clips and distributed the large ones on the sides of them, right here and here, and then we've got the skinny clips on the top here. We also, in the bottom here, if you want to adjust the camera there, down at the bottom here, we use something to kind of weigh the bottom out so that it got as flat as possible. Basically, when you're setting up a green screen, you have to have the fabric as tight as you can get the fabric, and then you also want to deal with the lighting. Apparently the lighting is the bigger issue. Once the fabric is tight, you want even lighting and consistent lighting to be able to produce one green color. If you have shadows, you're going to have a green that's darker than other greens, and so when you try and blot out the color behind me, you might not be able to do that. And so we're going to try and throw just a couple of screens behind me later on to see if that works. So I'm going to ask Mr. Jolliffe to zoom in here, and he's going to cue me up inside of the frame so that you shouldn't now, once he's got it, be able to see the lights, nor should you see like the feet or the clips or anything like that. And he should probably cue me so that you have most of my face, but maybe not all the way down to my feet. We're kind of limited a little bit by our camera's capabilities. So you have to find the distance with the camera's zoom to where you have the most of the person inside of the picture. Or when you are doing this, you can also frame yourself up with, say, chairs or other props. I'm not going to grab it right now, actually. There's a podium over there, but you can frame yourself up for the picture like this. In some of the projects we do, you might want to have a table in front of you or a desk in front of you to also make that look like you are seated maybe as part of a news team or for whatever it is that you're going to do. Really though, you got to know your image. So like right now I haven't premeditated any images of what I want to interact with you. So what makes that really difficult is the image that I choose to put up behind me now. If I'm touching on the right side of the screen right here, well, whatever I'm reaching for, I need to know that it's there. So prior to doing any green screen recording, you really have to know the picture that you want to interact with, okay? If I'm going to be trying to interact with that picture, I need to know where the placement is. If there's a person in the picture here, is there a door in the picture here? Is it simply just a background, but I need to know where I need to sit in that picture in relation to the objects in the picture. So think heavily of what that picture is going to be before doing your green screen recording. We'll give you some examples of interacting with some pictures here in a little bit. Okay, so another lesson we just learned and we're hoping we have solved here. We actually moved the lights this direction, okay, towards the screen. As we learned was, and maybe we should just zoom out. It's really hard to reach under that darn mic. So what we learned was that if we stood this close to the screen and the lights were actually right here in our last frame, is that when we interact with the green screen, and there's actually just, and I can see it now, I didn't see it before, but there's a slight shadow right here. And when we try to emboss that, you'll see that in another shot I showed you. When we try to put the screen over it, you could see that shadow. You couldn't really see what we're doing. So what we're hoping with this one is by coming out to here, is that will eliminate that shadow. Now I can see my shadow right now, and I can even see my shadow down here in the corner, so what'll be interesting is if that comes out. So if I'm here now, there's no shadow of mine on the screen. I'm enough in front of the lights that if I were to interact with the green screen now, or I were to point at something up here, or to move that weather mask across the screen, whatever I'm doing now, I shouldn't be really projecting much of a shadow. I do see a shadow of my right arm right now thanks to the other lights we have in the room. So it'll be interesting to see if that arm shadow right there shows up. But when I move out here, I really don't have any shadow that I'm putting on the side of the screen. You still got me in the shot right here?
Yep.
Again, we want to be able to have some space. Hopefully moving the lights back will make this better. We'll kill this one, and I guess then we'll just see if it works. Okay, closing thoughts. When working with the green screen, you have a lot of things that are going to be very sensitive in your finished product, okay? Number one, don't wear green colors. If you are wearing anything green, it could potentially cause some problems and be blotted out with the screen, and I could look like I have a fish tank for a shirt, or I could be floating around here like a floating head, okay? Number two, the depth to which I am to the screen, meaning how close I am to the screen here or how close I am to the camera, is going to affect shadows that I can put on the screen. The depth of my lights is another factor I have to consider. I'm going to have an overhead light. In the black box where we're at today, we do have 2 overhead lights right down above where we're at. That'll help eliminate shadow. We also have the 2 lights on the side, and the 2 lights we've placed real tight to the green screen, but also out of the shot where the person being centered is going to be at. Lastly, one of the behind the scenes things that you're not going to see on the video was how long it took us to clip and tighten up the green screen and figure out the perfect layout for it. What we actually ended up doing in this particular one is our green screen's really long. We actually ended up folding it back over itself, so it kind of doubled up the green. And then we put clips back, which I'll ask Mr. Dajjal, zoom out please. We put these clips all around the sides and then pulled the fabric as tight as we could without tearing it. And those clips are clipped to the frame. So the frame itself is just a square, and it's just black tubing, and so we just clipped it right on the outside of the tubing, and then you can kind of take the clip ends and toggle them like this in order to get them to tighten the green screen from there. So lastly, and I said this in a different one, know what shot you're going to want to interact with and how you're going to want to interact with it. Be willing to screw this up, guys. You're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way, and you're going to have to do a lot of learning in order to incorporate green screening into whatever project that you might be doing. But that being said, it's pretty cool. I think it's a positive experience